BlizzCon 2023. It's only a couple days away, and I'm really excited to watch it. I'm not going to be there in person. I'm going to be enjoying it from the comfort of my chair in my home, drinking coffee. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, I'm an introvert, so it's probably best. And yeah, it's November 3rd and 4th. I'm pretty excited. This is one of the only cons I like to listen to and pay attention to because lo and behold, as you've probably noticed in my channel, I basically play World of Warcraft and Diablo 4. Um, and so this video specifically is going to be more on my Diablo 4 predictions. But here, let me switch screen. As you can see, I just have it open here. Yes, November 3rd and 4th, if you didn't know. So this Friday and Saturday, which is great for a lot of people that either don't have time off work or maybe they're taking time off work to watch this. Um, but yeah, it's and here you can kind of see the schedule. I'll scroll down here. Um, Opening ceremony, of course, that's where they're going to give all the big announcements. WoW's What's Next, Overwatch 2, WoW Classic, Hearthstone, Warcraft Rumbling, and then the second day is WoW Deep Dive, Overwatch What's Next, Diablo 4 Campfire Chat, Community Night, and some singing group I cannot pronounce. Probably don't know. Um, but yeah, I just as you can see kind of through the schedule, I'm kind of surprised there's no Diablo 4 deep dive. Or not deep dive, what's next? Well, I guess deep dive or what's next. It's kind of just they're only doing the campfire chat, but maybe that's where they're gonna do everything. But I assume that in the opening ceremony, they're gonna probably announce what's going on in season 3. Of course, that's the most obvious answer. And then the rumored um, uh, questioning is about if there's going to be an announcement of an expansion. And as if you saw my previous video about the weeks, I made that video because I could literally concretely look on Steam and see those like zone regions. There's a whole other article that I thought I would open up here that's also been shared with everybody. Um, which was Diablo 4 Ward of Hatred is the name and title of the new expansion, which I agree with. I think that's you can see yeah, I made sure I just double checking it's showing you guys. But I also do agree. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because in Diablo 2, Ward of Destruction was the first and only expansion, but like Ward of Hatred is a good, expansion title. It's a throwback to Diablo 2. Makes sense to me. All the campaign points that we're going to be dealing with him next. And also there were weeks of a new class, the Spiritborn, a Tomb of Akarat. Hope I'm saying that right. Raid and more. There's the man himself, Mephisto. I'm not going to read this whole article. I'll put this in the description, but this is the week. And this was the YouTuber that I think found it first or data mined it first. But basically, down here kind of lists the key points. Mephisto will be the main antagonist, which definitely makes sense. I actually think it'll be similar to the original Diablo 4 campaign, where there'll be like two main bad guys or antagonists. Kind of in the original Diablo 4, it was basically Lilith, the big bad guy, and then like her underling. Oh shoot, why am I blanking on his name? Oh god, I'm not editing this, so crap. I'll edit it in. I'll put his name and it'll appear up here because I'm too lazy to redo this. Actually, I guess I can look it up. Elias, god damn it. Yeah, you're gonna get to see all this mess up here. But Elias, yeah, he was kind of the underling, but he was like the secondary main bad guy, Elias. So I almost think in the new expansion, I think Mephisto, of course, is going to be the final boss, the main guy we kill. But I actually think his son, so Mephisto had a son and a daughter, was Lucian, and I think Lucian's kind of be the new Elias. He's going to be kind of doing a lot of the work for Mephisto. I could be wrong. I mean, I think it'd be cool. We fought Lilith, now we fight Lucian. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I think the narrative's been pretty cool so far, so I'm excited to see where that goes, and that'll be. I'm assuming because there's two zones. I almost wonder if there's two acts. So I wonder because they definitely made the acts not as long as like Diablo 3 or 2, so I can almost see there being an act 7 and 8. And so each zone, I leaked that there were two new zones, the Tengel and Jungles, whatever, or the new region Karast. I think the whole zone is Karast. Yeah, I can see it being 2x. And then yes, like I just started saying, Karas would be the new region. That was also data mined through the Steam leak, which is not even a leak. Like you can go on Steam and look it up and see it. So like that one, I believe, I know I'm pretty much 99% guarantee it's going to be in Karas. And I can almost see Karas being like our main capital in this expansion. You know, like your main central hub, kind of like not Kyrgyzstan, but the main city in the ice zone, Fractured Peaks. I just can't remember my words today. Um, but I can almost see it being like the main central hub. And then the new one, the Spiritborn, um, it's going to be a glaive wielding nature based attacks and abilities. And see, this is where I'm a little. I think Spiritborn is that almost sounds like a code name. I couldn't see that being the name of a class, but you know, Blizzard has some. Usually the classes are very iconic, like Monk, Witch Doctor. Even those classes aren't in this game. Assassin. You know, they're all very stereotypical class names. Like a lot of video games have like a barbarian, a necromancer, a druid, but a spiritborn is very specific. So I could be wrong. I mean, it could be a spiritborn. This one I'm not sure on the week, but and I do believe it's going to be a glaive and like either glaive and shield, or because those two are kind of missing. That like class is kind of missing in the game. That's why I thought it'd be like a paladin. So maybe the spiritborn is more of a light, like maybe with the lights and the spirits. I could be wrong. I mean, they're saying nature, but we already have a druid. And I remember in a specific interview, I think Rod Ferguson asked like, "Who's the next class?" And he said, "We're trying to make all the classes very diverse." And it'd be weird to me to have two nature-based classes already. Like at least I see if they keep adding like a bunch of new, if they had like twice as many new classes, then yeah, you can have some overlap. But the fact that there's only 5 classes, I really do think they're gonna do a more light-based class, not a nature-based one. Who knows? Mercenary system. A lot of people can kind of see that coming. I think they weren't. I remember also reading an interview, but they didn't really want a mercenary. But maybe they changed their minds. I mean, every Diablo game's had a mercenary system, I think, since Diablo 2. So makes sense. It gives you more like ways to customize your character and how you work with your mercenary. Get additional like maybe there's some buffs to help your character like auroras or something. And then the last big thing was the Tomb of Akarat raid, which is like a raid. And you know what? I'm all for it. I know some people are like, don't want to do group content. And look, I'm not a big group content person either. But Diablo 4 is definitely more of a, it's not an MMO, but it leans more towards it, like just group content in general. So I actually think it's good. And I'm like one of those people that will just like, I hope there better be like some sort of matchmaking, or you just go to an area and people appear around you and you do it. Kind of like region events, like you don't really need to group, or even outside events, you don't need to group. Or for the seasonal content, like you don't need to group, but you just interact with people around you. But if it's a raid, you might need some coordination to make it at least complicated. Anyways, they say it's going to be a Karza based, which makes sense because as you saw in my previous video as well, a lot of the Karza hang out in the southern area of the eastern continent. And reach a final boss. And the Akarat, funny enough, if you like play through Act 5, they talk about looking for the Tome of Akarat on a lot of side quests. So it's kind of been foreshadowed that we'd be dealing with them. And that's the other reason why I think our class will be a paladin is all of the lore about the Temple of Akarat is a bunch of crusaders and paladins looking for it. So I can almost see if like the raid is maybe towards the end of the story. I don't even know if it's a part of the story, but if it's like time-wise a part of maybe it is a part of the campaign and story, paladin would want to go to this raid and do something, right? So that's why I still think it's more of a light-based class, but I'll be wrong. But yeah, anyways, get out of this. That was just a little week. I didn't make a full video on it. Then I thought I would share this as well. Just the Diablo part. Like I said, I'm gonna make a Warcraft. I'm not a big Overwatch fan, so I'm happy for people that are excited about it. You can kind of see here. This kind of gives you a hint of some of this stuff. This is like this is the floor plan of like the hall of where people that want to check out the Diablo content can look at. Wings of Inaria, so that's just pictures. Some art, reading, card reading. Yeah, so that's why you would think like streamer come play, Diablo viewing lounge. Like there's no place like if you look at the World of Warcraft, there's actually like a demo area. There's no demo area for Diablo, so I almost think there's going to be no demo for the expansion. At least maybe they'll announce it, but I don't think there's going to be any sort of demo, as you can kind of see through this floor plan here. So yeah, I mean, those are my predictions. Funny about my predictions are what the weeks are basically. Like I can see a lot of those things being the basically more endgame content for Diablo 4 is what I'm seeing, and mainly season 3 for sure. I go back one more time to the BlizzCon event, or the whole scheduling. Basically, the only big thing that Diablo could be announced, there could be an announcement for the expansion in the opening ceremony, and then the campfire chat. I'm guessing. I mean, the fact that that's 2 hours, unless there's like a secret hidden panel, 2 hours, maybe 1 hour for season 3 and 1 hour for if there's an expansion, they would lightly talk about it, maybe the new class. 'Cause 2 hours is a long time for a season 3. I mean, they did a long, but they had so many changes for season 2, so we'll see. Anyways, hopefully you guys are excited as I am to watch this, or maybe you're going. Um, I much prefer just watching it on my big screen. Like I said, drinking coffee and hanging out. So let me know your thoughts. Are you excited for the Diablo 4 announcements coming at BlizzCon? I know I am. And I'll see you guys in the next video.